Hi, welcome to Pappy's Custom Classics. Today we're going to be looking underneath at the chassis on a 1954 Buick Skylark Custom. Let's take a look here. So what we have up front is a Mustang 2 style rack and pinion front suspension. It's got the disc brakes. These are the 11-inch GM rotors. They let this thing stop pretty well. For being such a big car, this thing stops on a dime. You can see the coilover suspension that we have onto it. All nice and pretty down here. We'll walk underneath the car. And you can see a little bit of the exhaust coming through here in the oil pan. So what we have here engine-wise is a 1965 Buick Nailhead engine. It's a 425 cubic inch engine mated to a turbo 400 transmission that has a variable pitch torque converter. Really neat little tranny. As we go through here, you can see the engine. You can even see the mini starter that I used onto it. These high torque mini starters are great applications to start these high compression older engines. Here's the back side of the suspension. You can see we have the tubular A-arms, upper and lower. As we come back through the transmission area, you can see the exhaust has a 2-into-1 Y-pipe. Very well done. This thing sounds great when it's up and running. Come back through, we have our brake master cylinder. Now we have an adapter plate from the frame to the master cylinder. We have a Willwood underfloor dual master. These things are great with the remote reservoirs. You can see the lines going up to the remote reservoir there. Also, right here we have an adapter plate. So we had to have an adapter plate machined to make the Willwood master cylinder fit to the power cylinder. Worked out pretty well. These are the lines for the under seat heater core. So these old cars are all pretty neat, and they all actually have, all these Buicks have under seat heater cores as well as a firewall mounted heater core. So there's a dual heater system. We can come down here and see the linkage for the parking brake. Here's a stock original linkage that we have on the cross member. Now this cross member has been moved and modified, but it is the original cross member. Here's our brake lines coming up to way up there, which is our brake reservoirs. We'll come back down, go through here. We can also see the linkage from the transmission. So this is just your standard linkage kit. Very easy to install, very easy to adjust. We're going to come back down here, follow our parking brake. This is a low-carb parking brake system. Very simple to put in, easy to run, pretty nice. Now these old Buicks were a torque tube car, which means that the rear suspension was an integral part of the drive shaft. So we've removed all that, and you can see we have a regular drive shaft here. We can come over here and see part of the 4-link. So what I did on this car is a triangulated 4-link rear suspension. Here's our lower 4-link arm. Coming up and over to our upper 4-link arms. These are the triangulated arms. This eliminates the need for a panhard bar and keeps the rear end centered and keeps it moving just exactly how we want it to. We'll come back to this side. You can see the driver's side here with the parking brake cable, and I'll run through there. Now we'll go towards the back, and here are our coilover shocks. So since we did change all our rear suspension, we wanted an adjustable suspension onto it. So what I have here is the coilovers with the brake line way up there, as you can see. Now these coilover springs are loose right now because the weight is off the back. So as we set this car back down, what we're going to see is those springs will go back into place. Here's our rear end, all brand new brake lines. This is a rear end out of a 65 Buick Riviera. It's a Spicer rear end, I believe. It is a 308 gears and a posi traction. So it goes down the highway pretty well, and well, with this big engine, we can spin these tires pretty well. Here's our other shock here. We'll come on back. Now you can see the underneath of the car has been rhino lined the same color as the outside of the car. This is kind of nice. It does help the durability underneath the car. Looks great. You know, it's kind of fun to spray as well. We have our fuel tank here. This is an original fuel tank. It's been reconditioned. Works great. No issues at all. We come back. Now we see the back end of the car. So these are beautiful, unique, special cars. They only made 836 of them. This is the only known modified one for a 54 that has won the Buick Club of America's Gold Award. So in 2015, this car won the BCA Gold in the modified division. So I'm very proud of that car. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can always visit us on our website.